public international law and private international law. Let's discuss briefly about private international law. Private international law contains rules and regulations which decide which country's domestic law will be given preference in a situation where individuals are involved in an international transaction. For instance, imagine that there's a guy from India, Veer. He falls in love with a girl from Pakistan, Zara. They eloped to Kathmandu and got married there. After marriage, they shifted to Dhaka, Bangladesh, where Veer started working. After a certain period, Zara shifted to USA for higher studies. Now, as they are not able to sustain a long distance relationship, they are seeking divorce. Which country's jurisdiction shall they use in order to get divorced? Interesting, isn't it? Now, take another example. Imagine that you are operating a business in India, let's say a tabela, and you get an offer from a US-based company, Coca-Cola. Now the deal is that you will supply milk and they will supply Coca-Cola, and by mixing these two drinks, you're going to create a new beverage which you're going to sell in Chinese market. This contract was signed when you two were meeting in Dubai. A customer from France who is traveling to China buys your product and falls sick because of its ill effect. Which country will be suitable for that person to file a lawsuit against you? Will you come to India to file a lawsuit, or will you go to France or China? There is no one clear answer in both these situations. Rather, parties will be given multiple options. They can either opt lex loci, which means law of the land, or they can opt for lex fori, law of the forum. They can also go for lex causa, law of the cause of action. There are various rules which help us in coming to a decision when different municipal jurisdictions are in a situation of conflict. Hence, private international law is also known as conflict of laws. Public international law, rules and regulations governing the behavior of countries when they are dealing with each other. From where do these rules and regulations arise? As per section 38(1) of ICJ statute, there are four major sources of international law. Going in hierarchy, first one being treaties or conventions. Treaty or convention is a contract between two or more parties. When countries enter into a contract, that contract is called a treaty or a convention. Treaties and convention form the foremost source, the most sought after source of international law. Second is customs. International customs, just like domestic customs, are those traditions, usages which people have been following since time immemorial. For example, since the era of Captain Jack Sparrow, we all know that high sea international waters are open for all. Anyone can freely sail in international waters. Third in hierarchy are general principles of laws followed by civilized nations. For example, slavery has been abolished in almost all civilized countries of the world. Hence, it can be presumed that abolition of slavery has achieved the status of an international norm. Fourth are decisions and suggestions of jurists or highly acclaimed authors of international law. As international law is a growing area of law, it is an evolving area, hence even contribution of authors are considered. So if somebody like Oppenheim writes down something about a concept of international law, it will hold value.
Did you like this video? Then you should definitely check Endeavor-CLAT online course. 100 plus hours of live lectures, 120 plus topic based videos, 500 plus sectional and full length mock tests covering CLAT, ILAT, SLAT, LSAT, MHCET and more.